Welcome back to Silver Thread Sewing. I'm Diane. This is Friday Sews. So I hope everyone's well, and I certainly appreciate you stopping by my channel. So today's got a little bit of explanation and some funny stuff and some videos. When last I saw you a couple weeks ago, I think I had just finished my hashtag Fabric Wheel of Fate spin and made my tempo dress. And everybody that commented seemed to just love that dress, and that made me very happy. I've enjoyed it. I've wore it one time. I'm very happy with it. I think it's just been an unexpected surprise that I love it so much. Now, before I get started, I do want to say thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting the hashtag Friday Sews and for allowing all of us to join in. So, last time that we spoke, I told you that I was outside because I was starting some redoing of my sewing room. This has been the largest redo that I've ever done in this room. When I came in this room, it had been a bedroom, and had, you know, the color was already here on the walls. It was the yellow color, which was fine, and just different things. It had some snowboard rails, I guess, to hold a snowboard on the wall. So there were some big holes in the wall, and then I had just used those and put a wooden board in there and called it a shelf. So, and that had worked. It had everything I needed. But I did find that the desk I used as my main sewing table was just too high. It was very heavy, and it was a wooden desk, so you couldn't adjust it whatsoever. So I wound up having to try to put a big, thick pillow in my chair just to kind of raise me up enough to where it didn't hurt my neck to sew so much. But it really wasn't comfortable, and it wasn't really functional. I have like 3 sewing machines and my serger. So I had really wanted for a long time to get in here and paint the walls and do some different things. So Greg and I got the large things out that I needed to get out. And everything else, I just kind of piled on my sewing table and piled on the ironing board and piled wherever I could and pull things. I would just do one wall at the time. Now, that's not the right way to paint. I know you're supposed to clean everything out and cover everything and do all that, but I didn't do it like that. I did it my way, which meant a lot of moving stuff around, and I just about gave up a time or two. I thought I had just bit off more than I could chew this time. But I plastered puttied all the holes in the wall, and then I went back and sanded those off. And then I would paint one wall at a time. So I started at the door, painted over to where the big desk had been sitting, and then painted up halfway on that wall, moved things around, painted the rest, and then you can see a little bit back here of how I painted. Now, I've got a few pictures of a mess and a few pictures when I took all my threads down. I took all that stuff down so I didn't get paint on anything. And anyway, it looks better to me. It's very clean, it's brighter and lighter. Now, I did have a kind viewer who told me that if I was doing a bright white, it might be too bright for like doing videos and stuff. But when I looked on my paint, it was actually an antique white. So it worked out perfectly. And then by putting this antique white paint over the yellow, I think that gave it just enough warmth maybe to where it's not overpowering. It's not like walking in a big bright room or anything. It's just brighter and cleaner. And the next thing that I did, anytime I would want to sew, I would have to pull out the tubs out from under my sewing table. I had 4 or 5 tubs under there. And I would have to drag them out and hunt for the fabric that I was thinking of using. And it was really, it's not bad, and it was just frustrating, and it put me off. Just that little bit of extra having to go through that extra work sometimes would just put me off. Then if you buy fabric, you go ahead and use what you bought, and what you loved yesterday is just stuck in a bin. So I had never really wanted to put my fabric out where the sun and the dust and things like that could get to it. But I decided that I needed to be able to see my fabric, to be able to use it, and to be able to pick out what I wanted to make from what. So when I got the room painted and got a few things moved where I wanted them, I started going through my fabric. Now, I know a lot of people use like the comic board, cardboards or whatever, and I think that looks really good when people do that, but I didn't want to have to buy anything else. I didn't want to have to wait for anything else to come in the mail. I just wanted to be able to do it quickly and as painlessly as possible. So what I did, I took one piece at a time of all my fabric, quilting cottons, all my cotton apparel fabric, rayons, knits, sweater knits, bottom weights, whatever I had at least a yard of. I have done this little storage idea too. So what I did, I unrolled them, I straightened them all out, I measured them for width and wrote that on a little tag. Then I measured the length and wrote that on the little tag. And I'll put some pictures of that in. And then I would refold the fabric. So I would take half, then I would fold it in from each side to the middle, and then I rolled it up. So I rolled every piece of fabric. Then I would take a piece, I had some cotton yarn, a big cone of cotton yarn, and I would just tie that around it to hold it secure so it wouldn't unroll. And then I would put those little tags on it, and then I would put them on the shelf. So my shelves look really full, but actually there's not as much as it looks like, because a lot of this is quilter's cotton. A lot of it is just bulkier fabric. So my shelves are full, and I do think that I may get some little curtains and just use a tension rod and cover the fabric so that it doesn't get so dusty. But yeah, I can get to it and pick out what I want to use. So it was a job that took several days. For my tables, Greg gave me the shelves. These metal shelves are great. They're very sturdy and heavy duty, and I cleaned them and put them in here. So I have 2 of those. They took the whole corner where the big desk used to sit. And then I told him my dilemma about needing an adjustable table. And we looked at like the Flexi Spot and the nicer tables that would, you could just push a button and they lower and raise and all that. I love those guys, but I couldn't really afford that. So he suggested that Home Depot has what's called a Husky Workbench. Now they are manually height adjustable. You have to take a little lever and turn it, crank or whatever, and crank it. So we ordered a 46-inch, which is the shortest, and we ordered a 72-inch, which is the longest. And that filled the whole wall coming in from the door up behind me here. And that allowed me to put all 3 of my sewing machines and my serger on this one long table. They have, the tables have drawers. They have 2 drawers. They're very shallow, but they're also very wide. And I'm still getting things put where it will go, and I'm kind of trying to figure out the best place to store things. I still have the big blue armoire that you're used to seeing in the corner, and I've moved my industrial machine under the window. I am going to make some curtains. I have a little piece of strawberry. Let me show you. So I had taken this little sheer curtain down upstairs. It was hanging, I think it's one we had in our bedroom, and the hem of it was coming out, and it kind of was just worn. And so anyway, I washed it, and I remembered that I had bought this. I don't know where this came from. I don't remember. I ordered it somewhere, but it is this little trim. You probably can't see it unless it's got some background to it, but it's strawberries, and it's really, really pretty. So I want to make, all I have is this little teeny window, and I just want to make a little teeny curtain to go on it, and I would like for this to be toward the bottom of the curtain, and I only have a little piece of it. So I think that will be pretty to put it at the bottom, and then I'll have a new curtain for down here, so I'm excited about getting that one done. But at any rate, I did do a time lapse. I did a little video of telling you what I was doing, and I'll insert that here. And then there's a time lapse video where I was doing the folding of the fabrics and stuff. So I'll insert those right here. Look at all that. Just look. Oh, Lord. And I've still not got that wall painted. And I still have to go out into the office room, and it's full out there too. Have a look. This is the sewing room. I have really bit off more than I can chew this time. But I'm going to do it. It may kill me, but I'm going to do it. I told Greg, I said, when I'm dead and your next wife wants to make this her tanning bedroom, she'll have you down here repainting everything purple or something stupid. He said, no, I ain't doing that. And I said, you better hope you don't, because I'm down here by myself doing it, so you better not even think about it. So, as you can see, I wish it had gone as fast as it looked like it went in that video. Oh my gosh, I would have been done so much sooner. But anyway, everything is back in here and everything is functional now. I'll be moving things around a little bit to make it look neater. I've got all my pins sitting out, and I've not figured out where to put everything so it's best. But I can, I think I'll be able to film just about anywhere in here to share stuff with you. I'm not sure as far as when I have a garment. I'm thinking over at the end of the cutting table, I can move that light, and I think you'll be able to see things full length over there. So I'll practice on that, but I am working on my next hashtag fabric wheel of fate make, and that is a hashtag started by Sew Carol. And she has a whole list of people that are doing that hashtag if you want to go to her channel. So I'll link to those below. But anyway, everything is about done, and I'm about to start feeling like maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's been a job. I'm getting too old for this. Seriously. So I might have to hang it up pretty soon and just leave everything where it's at and do the best I can and stop this. I'm very happy now because I have everything cleaned out from under my cutting table. I did keep 3 tubs. One has lining fabrics in it. One has serger cones, and it's not even a quarter of the way full. And the other one has Cricut supplies, like my vinyls and my the tape stuff that you use. I've got all that in a tub, and I do have them slipped back under my cutting table. But when I need to get under there, I can just pull them out, and then my table rolls because Greg put it on casters. So everything's coming together. I'm really happy with the way it's starting to look. It's going to take some getting used to, and I know I'm going to be having to hunt for everything because I'll never remember where I put it. But anyway, when I get it finished, I will definitely share a sewing room tour with you. But I'm very happy that it's cleaner, it's brighter, and things still look crowded and cluttered to a point, but just like my shelves up here. But now everything is kind of accessible. I can get to it. And I'm most pleased about my fabric because now I can get to it. So that's all I wanted to share with you today is my sewing room progress video, and to say that everything's good. We did take Salem to the specialist. That will be my life part. And he said no cancer, no infection. He believes that it is her salivary glands that are clogged, and he did recommend removing those guys. So we're supposed to go back in a week or so and talk to him and kind of figure out if we can afford it and if everything is safe for her to go ahead and have that done. So we are definitely going to do all we can to get her well. She was healthy. He said she did great with all her tests. Her blood work's good. Her heart's good. All those things. So even though she's almost 10, she's really in good shape. So hopefully we can get her taken care of without too much stress on her. That is our main goal. We don't want her to be stressed. So anyway, I hope that you have a great weekend, and I'll be back to show you my fabric Wheel of Fate make as soon as I get it finished. And thanks so much for watching. And remember, if you love to sew, don't ever stop. As long as you sew, you'll never have time or money to get into any trouble. Just ask me how I know.